Guys, before the video starts, I just want to give a massive shout out to today's video sponsors, Match Bingo. Link will be in the description. I'll leave a video now just explaining the game and how you can win and stuff like that. One thing I will mention is you need to be 18 or over. Brilliant app. I've been using it now for a few days and I really like it. So here's the video. Come on, you baggies.
Let's go.
Right, hello and welcome back to West Brom Fan TV. Now obviously, end of the season for Albion, might as well have a bit of fun and rank every single team that I've seen visit the Hawthorns this season in the league. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So first up, Blackburn Rovers, 23rd place. I just can't really remember a lot about them. I remember there was a very small allocation that they took down. The limbs weren't necessarily too good. Just a bit of a flat atmosphere, really. Not the best at all. Not really much else to say. Usually they do bring quite a consistent amount and near enough sellout most of the times, but it seemed pretty poor. Obviously there's some bad things going on off the pitch with them, with completely against the owners, and that's how I get it. And it was midweek, so give them the benefit of the doubt, I guess. But from what I saw, it was the worst that, in my personal opinion, came to the Hawthorns. Up 22nd, it is Watford. They took an okay amount, but I just didn't really realise they were there. Not being horrible, Watford fans are all right. They're decent people, but can't remember them even being there for that game. It was a bit of an on-the-beach match, so yeah, like I said, that works in their favour again. Nothing special at all. 21st, Millwall. They're a good group of lads, but they just never take money for some reason. They have good banter, but you can't really hear them just because of the lack of people that they bring. I guess the lack of supporters. Saying that, I'm pretty sure that was a good game as well. Sure, that was a boring 0-0 if I remember correctly. But yeah, just nothing to write home about really. And it was a Saturday at 3 o'clock, so no excuses for them at all. Up next, Oxford. To be fair, brought an alright amount. Another game which didn't really give them a lot to shout about. They got absolutely humiliated, to be fair, by us. It was really boring. All one-way traffic. So, guess that, yeah, again, works in their favour. We're slightly impressed by the amount they brought, considering they're not necessarily a giant club in this league. So, fair play for that. But, just like I said, nothing to write home about. Same with the next team, QPR. Same thing. They had nothing to play for when they came to our place. QPR at Loftus Road, don't get me wrong, their fans are fantastic there. But away, they just never seem to blow me away. Don't want to sound rude when I say this, but a lot of their fan base is more old that come and travel with them lots. That might be why a lot of them are the die-hard old boys. They do have a few youth that are in there, but like I said, just not really a lot to write home about with QPR. Up next is where we're slightly improving with the calibre of the fans that came in, is Hull City. To be fair, had some alright limbs. Didn't make crazy amounts of noise, but the limbs were okay. So that's why they are 18th. Yeah, decent limbs. That's about all I can really remember. That's annoying. Drinking tumble dryers going on. Yeah, that's where they are there. 17, Norwich City. Now, I think Norwich have an underrated fan base, but they didn't create much noise at all when they came to the Hawthorns, despite scoring 2 goals and it being an entertaining first half. 2-2 draw in the end. Yeah, just wasn't really as good as I know they can be. Same with the next team. 16th is Swansea City. They've got some decent fans from through the years. I think some of the best limbs I've seen was when they beat us 3-2 at our place. But this year, not the best. I don't think they're sold out as well. And considering it's one of their closer away days, I think that is a little bit poor. Like I said, it was another flat game. We won 1-0. Didn't really give them a lot to shout about. 15th, Bristol City. Always pack out that away end, always create a bit of noise. When they're doing well, they create loads of noise, but yeah, created a little bit of noise. I can remember it was around Christmas time as well. So fair play, because a lot of money's tight around that time of year with buying presents and that, and they still managed to sell out. Obviously, it's one of their closer away days. That's why it's not as impressive as some of these other teams. Fair play, 15th place, mid-table Bristol, I guess. Up next, Preston North End. They always tend to create a decent bit of noise. Don't always tend to sell out, to be fair, but the noise they generate with the numbers they bring in is why they are where they are. Their fans are lively, I guess. Yeah, they make up for what they're like at home. I don't think they're the best support at home, but away they're all right. I guess they took more numbers probably be a lot higher placed up, but just purely based off the noise they make. 14th. 13th is Cardiff. Yeah, they always bring a decent turnout. Obviously, they got relegated. It's a shame for those lot. Yeah, always tend to make a good bit of noise when they come to the Hawthorns. Thought that this season weren't necessarily breathtaking or amazing. Pretty sure that game was a boring 0-0 from what I can remember, I think. To be fair, a lot of our games have been draws. But yeah, decent turnout. Okay noise, nothing crazy. Obviously, I think above this place now, all these other teams had really, really good support, in my opinion, based off the noise and the limbs and that stuff. But yeah, Cardiff, they're all right. I've seen them better in previous seasons. Usually, they're around the top 8, I'd say, but probably the game let them down. It was a bit of a dud. Now, up next is, I might surprise you, I'm going for Luton Town, 12th place. They took loads of numbers, obviously, all well up for it, creating loads of noise before Fellows made it 1-0. And then they had some decent limbs to make it 1-1. Just a solid turnout. A lot of them, the noise they made towards the end were against the manager and the state of the club. Previous seasons, Luton have been pretty pants. I know it's a big game for them, and that's probably going to have a factor into why they were so good. But yeah, 12th place, Luton. Up next, 11th, Coventry City. Always got top support. If the games were different, they would probably be top 5, because I've seen a lot of videos of them when they go to places and they're winning. They're very noisy. Still creating a fair bit of noise. Sell out, obviously, midweek. I know it's not stupidly far. They never win at the Hawthorns, and they always turn out in numbers, always make a cracking bit of noise, have a good bit of banter with us, and I'm all for that. But like I said, would be a lot better if it weren't for the fact that we always beat you, and it's always quiet pretty early on. Up next is Burnley. Don't get me wrong, they didn't bring crazy numbers, but I thought they were really loud, and that's why, obviously, they are where they are. Purely noise factor, I guess. I think if they took more numbers, they could be up there in the top 5 away following the league, because they create decent noise. Proper old school club. Flying in the league this season, getting promoted, 2nd place. Fair play to them. Next up is Sheffield United, 9th place. Played them on a Sunday, which has a factor, and still managed to take solid numbers, created a cracking bit of noise. Their limbs, I thought, were pretty sensational. So yeah, that's why they're there. 8th place is Middlesbrough. Always make a load of noise, take a great following, and boy, their limbs are brilliant. You know, they are a proper club. Middlesbrough are. Got a lot of time for them, and that's why they are where they are. Obviously, there's teams above them still, so not the best in the league, in my opinion, from what I've seen. But still really impressed with them, and some solid limbs. 7th place, Stoke. Always make a ton of noise when they come to the Hawthorns. Bit of a dud of a game. Sell out away end. Great banter. Lively. Solid. Very, very solid. Always are. Probably, arguably, one of the most underrated fan bases in the league, because they always take loads of numbers, it seems, wherever they go. Yeah, respect. Up next, 6th place is Sunderland. I know some Sunderland fans might shout me head off, thinking they'd probably be first in the league. Yeah, didn't make as much noise as they made in previous seasons, saying that a lot of them were probably biting their nails because it was 1-0 for most of the game. They did beat us in the end. But yeah, solid numbers, massive club, great fans, great banter. 5th place is another one which might surprise you, that they're not in the top 3, and it's Leeds United. We played them earlier on in the season. It was a boring 0-0 game, but they did make some solid noise, brought decent numbers as they always do. If it was on the grand scheme of things, it weren't just based off one game, I'd say that they are the best away fans in the league, because they'd sell out anyway. If they played a game in Timbuktu, they'd sell out, or I don't know, the outskirts of Lithuania, you'd still see them sell it out. They've got some crazy fans, but just off what I've seen, 5th place. 4th place is Plymouth Argyle. They're miles and miles away from every game, apart from Exeter, who aren't even in their league anymore, but that's still an hour away. And they take cracking numbers wherever they go. Sold out the Hawthorns, I'm pretty sure. Some solid noise. They are fantastic. And considering the distance they travel, 4th place, cracking fun. 3rd place, Sheffield Wednesday. Limbs, arguably the best I've seen all season. Made some cracking noise. Always tech loads and loads of numbers. Another one of them teams. Boy, oh boy, they travel well away, and they always make a good noise at the Hawthorn. And that's why 3rd place. Up next, number 2 is Portsmouth. They sold out. Fans were a great laugh. And despite getting absolutely battered, they were still singing for the large majority of the game. They were very loud as well. All behind that team as well at the end of the game when the players walked over. Despite getting crushed away at the Hawthorns, they made a really good account of themselves, clapped the manager and the players off. I think they understood that They were saving players for a big game against Millwall, which they lost. Oh well, they made themselves proud that day. And fair play, that's why you're second place. My number one, without further ado, is Derby County. Now, it may be the recency factor, but they were loud. They were the loudest fans I've seen at the Hawthorns all season. They sold out and the limbs were exceptional. They were going nuts. Islang flipped the ball over our keeper and tapped it in. It was nuts. Genuinely, absolute bedlam. Surprised there weren't a few leg breaks in there. Cracking fans. Don't get me wrong, I ain't the biggest fan of Derby because it seems that they always beat us no matter where we go. They were fantastic and they got some good home fans as well. So, based off what I've just said there, there's only one winner. Derby County, in my opinion, are the best fans to visit the Hawthorns this season. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't get too offended if you're an away fan and you didn't get a decent ranking or whatever. It's just a bit of fun, innit? It's nothing too serious. Don't take it to heart. Anyways, I'm going to round it off there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to try and get some more content out before we all fly off on our hollybobs.